After finishing my Cyberpunk 2552 map on Halo Infinite, I thought I'd make a video going over some aesthetic design tips for city-like builds, and if you haven't seen my Cyberpunk map yet, feel free to check that out for context, but I'll try to include some footage of it in this video as well. If you find these tips inspiring or helpful, feel free to let me know, and subscribe for more Halo and Call of Duty content. Anyways, let's go ahead and head over to Forge and start going over some of these tips. Alright, now that we are in Forge mode, the first thing I want to start off is the roads. So first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and turn down the scratch, because if you have the scratch on, it looks like this, and it looks really ugly, in my opinion. So I go ahead and turn that off, and if you have screen effects like rain, or you just want a reflective road, here it is with roughness at default. It looks kind of boring. So if you go to roughness and turn it down, I like to go with 20. That's pretty comfortable for me. And it kind of looks wet and a little bit reflective. As you can see at the bottom of the screen some of the neon lights reflecting off the ground and whatever else that you have over in the background. I went ahead and did that too with these sidewalks. These sidewalks are just dirty bricks. Like here, let's go here, you can see bricks dirty, and I changed the color to a darker like gray. And the roughness is also on 20. As you see, if you turn it off, it looks, again, boring. I went ahead and turned it on to 20. And for the roads and sidewalks, I'm just using the floor quadruple sizes, because if you come here, there's only one region, which makes changing the materials super easy and simple. And the size of the road just depends on what you're trying to build. Like this road is actually kind of wide. Personally, I think it's too wide. After all, I just made this for the video. So the actual ground level, so as you can see in the bottom of the screen, it's 748. For the road itself, you want it to be like half down, so 0.50. If I can get it, there we go. So it's at 747.5. That is so you can just walk up like that. If it's too high, you'll have to jump up, or it'll be a giant like clunk into the screen, and you really don't want that because it kind of ruins the gameplay. You want it so you can just walk right up. Really simple, really easy. And to kind of blend it in, we're going to go ahead and start with the curbs. For the curbs, I just used a concrete barrier short and then kind of reshaped it a little bit to make it the right size that I wanted it to be. And as you can see here, they blend in and look like curbs. And I like it to be a different color just so it kind of like sticks out like, yes, this is a curb. And as you can see, you just slide it in like that. So you just want to grab them and then just slide them in like that. And then do that until it's completely filled. Just like that. As you can see, it looks really nice. And I have the roughness turned down to 20 as well. You can't really tell with the way I have the world set up. I didn't really go into much detail on that. But you want it to have the same roughness as everything else, otherwise it'll kind of stick out like a sore thumb. But you do want it to stick out because curbs are noticeable. Now if you want the road to curve, just set it to a 15-degree snap. You just want to snap it and then move it into place. And then you want to do that all the way around. I don't really have that set up. It doesn't look very good right now because I kind of rushed through it, but you want to play with it. Sometimes you'll have to turn the movement snap down to a 4th, or sometimes turn it off if you want it to look smooth. But depending on your road size, you just want to curve it. I recommend using one of these. It is a curved wall triple. You just change the color and then put it in the right spot. And I just kind of moved it back into place. I don't really feel like putting it back to where it was exactly, but it serves as a pretty good guide of where to put the curbs when you're doing the curved roads. And depending on how big your road is, this curb will change size. Anyways, I'm just going to drop it back in and leave it as it is. I don't really care. Now for street paint, as you probably noticed, we have these. These are tiling white strips. These can be found under decals, and I think they're under general, but you just want to reshape them and turn them flat, and they look like street paint. It looks really good. And you just want to like line them up like this, like I have here. Then you can just move them into place like that. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this off real quick. As you can see there, I finished the crosswalk, and I've put on basic street paint. You can do pretty much whatever you want with the street paint. This is just what I have to have it look like. And for extra details, you can just grab this and stretch it out further like that. like I have it right here, and just place them like right about here on the side of the road, which serves as like the place where the person stands. And for extra little details, like if you're doing a crosswalk, you can use these street pylons, or these traffic pylons they're called, and just place them right there. They work really well as markers and cool little details. And specifically for curved areas, you can use these traffic pylons as well, and just kind of place them along here. So place them along the curve like this, and then when you're done, it should look something a little like this. As you can see, it looks really good. It really adds the detail, and it's a great way to transition from a curved road into a business area with like buildings and alleyways and just places where you can just walk, you know. And speaking of details, we can go ahead and jump into some of the details which will make your road look better. First of all, you can use rubble piles depending on what you're going for. If you want a clean street, obviously don't do this, but we're making kind of dirty streets here. You can also use clutter piles, which is found under garbage, and you can use that. You can like place that there, then place it up here as well to make it look like it's multi-leveled. That's not actually level, but you get what I'm going for here. There we go. It looks like it's multi-leveled trash. Like some trash is up on the sidewalk and some of the trash is down here on the road. And obviously once you put in some details over here on the sidewalk, like dumpsters, vending machines, trash cans, benches, things like that, it really shapes and forms into an actual road. More cool details you can do is by grabbing this ventilation unit roof, and just kind of shrinking it down. If I can, let's just shrink it this way. There we go. And then just move it up against the curb. It looks like drainage, like street drainage for the rain, which works really well. And you can place them just along the roads right here. This, as you can see, it really brings a lot of detail into the street. Well, and another thing you can do is grabbing these large UNSC pillars from the UNSC accents section, and then just flip them upside down and size them up really big like that, and then go ahead and just place them, I mean literally anywhere, just in the background, usually outside of the map boundaries so they don't look kind of weird. Then you can like just place them all over. Like here, I'll place another one over here. Then when we go back into the map, you can look around and look up and you can see buildings. They look like skyscrapers. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into my Cyberpunk map and show you what they look like once they are kind of meshed into an actual map and not just scattered around the area for demonstration purposes. Alright, so back into my Cyberpunk map. Sorry if I'm stuttering, this is live commentary. As you can see over here, I have these large UNSC pillars I changed the colors on the lights up here, which kind of give it more flavor. I have purple, blue, and yellow. And when you come down into the actual map and look up, it looks like an actual city once I merge a bunch of the items together. Obviously, I didn't just use the large pillars. As you see here, I used the large pillars twice, and I put like this little support beam right here with a sign on it to make it look like a fancy hotel. And these are just bridge support pillars with emissive materials over here at the top, and I gave them purple and yellow colors. As you come down onto the street, as you see here, you can see here, once you put like all the details together, it looks really good. Like I have wires, I have some trash, I have drainage here, I have my attempt at a manhole, but I'm not really sure how I feel about it. You can see there's rubble, there's trash, clutter, more drainage, and it's just everywhere along all the roads, and it really brings like life into the road. As you can see over here, like I have a fruit stand, I have a vending machine, a pallet, dumpster, traffic pylons, whatever this thing is called, a dolly. Just kind of put a bunch of clutter on the side of the roads and it looks really nice, especially if you're going for a cyberpunk setting where, you know, the roads kind of look like they haven't been kept up in a while. The best part about the ground having a low roughness is it reflects light from the sky. So if you look up, you can see that giant purple emissive building right here. It kind of shines down. You can see it shining off the ground, which really brings extra life to the, I guess, atmosphere. As you can see here, I have curbs like this with debris and rubble and trash scattered around, which makes the road look super real. And if I come over here, you can see I have crosswalks everywhere. I have one here. This one kind of leads to a dumpster, but I guess it is what it is. And you can take a look around. There are a few things I did, like added pipes, windows, just things like that to add detail into a city. But the best way to get rid of all that extra open space is by adding sidewalks. As you can see, the main floor here is 702, and I come here to the road and it is 701.5. And you can take a look around. You can see that I have a lot of details. Like I have this little structure here, which makes like a kind of like a monorail. The main thing that makes this map look way better in its final stage over its alpha stage is the ground. These little details. It used to just be this ground at 702 instead of 701.5 with no roughness, or with the roughness turned all the way up, so it wasn't reflective, and that was it. And it was kind of bland and it was open. I really wish I had screenshots to show you, but I don't. But once I added these sidewalks, it fixed the problem. Like, sure, technically the space is still the same open space, but it looks so much better because of the dimensions. Alright, so I hope you found these design tips inspiring. Again, if you haven't seen my full showcase of Cyberpunk 2552, go check it out, and you can even bookmark it and play it yourself as well. Feel free to subscribe for more Halo content, as well as some of my other gaming content. Anyways, later.